Shalom, brothers and sisters. This week's Torah portion is extremely valuable and life-teaching. It starts off reading Numbers chapter 16. And in Numbers chapter 16, we see the rebellion of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And we see how Korah contends for the priesthood. And so they have a desire to take over, what was gifted to Aaron and Moses, right? So they have a desire and an envy towards them. And so we see their disobedience towards them, and the Lord appears to Moses and Aaron and tells them what is going on. And because of their desire to, want something that they were not placed and meant to be, they are consumed into the pit of earth, and those followers following them are consumed by fire. And after that, we see a plague sent upon the people of Israel. And so what we learn here, just from Korah and the other two men who are with him plotting against Aaron and Moses, we see how they have a desire, they have an envy, and because of this leads to their death. It's important in our lives that we do not desire, we do not envy what other people have, but we thank the Lord for everything that's going on in our lives. We have to give and understand and fulfillment that He sent people purposely for a specific reason. Like we were talking about on last week's Torah portion, right? He sent us the prophets, He sent us the Messiah. Everyone has a purpose in life and a purpose that the Lord teaches us through different people. And so in our lives, we also are sent here for a certain reason, and we have to find that. And we have to make sure we're not falling into the paths of this world, falling into the desires of, others, falling into, wanting what someone else has. Because this jealousy, this pride, it will corrupt us. This is corruption. This is sin that we build upon inside ourselves, and we're separating ourselves from God, because rather than giving our lives into His hands, what we're doing is we're striving for other people, for worldly things, whether it's money, materialistic items, or having envy for someone, hatred. All of these things, they can consume us. They can consume our soul and further distance us from the Lord. And it's important for us, as we're reading the Word, interpreting it, understanding it, both spiritually and physically, that we are fully consuming what the Word is telling us. And what I mean by that is not just reading it, and understanding it, it's fully interpreting it, right? Asking the Lord to show us what this means, going in and studying it, researching it, right? Because we need to be like wise followers of Christ. We need to not just listen to what the preacher is telling us. We need to go and back that information. Is this true, right? These are how we get our fundamentals in life, our fundamental ways of consuming the Bible as a whole. And when we consume the Bible as a whole, we have a foundation inside of us. We have the Holy Spirit living inside of us that's leading us in our day-to-day life. And we have a foundation upon we could build our relationship and closen ourselves to the Lord. And this is extremely important, because when we are doing this, then we don't have these sinful thoughts. We don't have sin living in us. We don't have the ability for the enemy to control us, unless God gives him permission. So if we have the Lord living inside of us, right, the Holy Spirit guiding us, He is in a relationship with us, and everything we are doing are in correspondence to His Word, then we are unstoppable. We know we are saved. We know we can be a light to the world. And it's important for us to do this, because we will be an example to everyone. We will not, be someone that people hate, someone that people see as rebellious, someone that people see as, all he ever does is just desire what other people have. And so that's the valuable lesson we learn from the rebellion of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And so it's important for us to understand God put us in a place. He gave people for certain reasons, and we have to understand whatever situation we're in, wherever we are found, whatever part we are a part of, it is for a reason. God has placed us there, and we don't need to desire and, want certain things, right? We need to let God control our life, lead us in our everyday basis, and He will always be with us as long as we are keeping His word, consuming it fully, and understanding it, and researching it and studying it, not just listening to what other people tell us. And that is how we should be living our lives on a day-to-day basis, because when we do that, we will receive blessings, we will receive everything our heart desires, because the Lord knows us, and even if we want something else and it goes a different way, that was for a reason, and ultimately God does everything for a reason, and it's always, to our benefit. Whether we see it not, whether there's bad going on in our lives now, the Lord's doing that for a certain reason. And He knows whether it's to teach us, whether it's to make us understand something, open our eyes to something, He does it for a reason. And it's extremely important for us to understand, praise, and thank Him throughout everything that happens in our lives.